America in the early 1900s was restless. Horses pulled carriages through crowded streets, but people wanted more. Factories were buzzing. Cities were growing. Travel was slow, dangerous, and limited. Then came Henry Ford, a man with a vision bigger than himself. He promised something bold, a car for every American family. At first, nobody believed him. Cars were toys for the rich, fragile machines that broke down easily. But in 1908, Ford launched the Model T. It wasn't just a car. It was a revolution on wheels. Suddenly, families who could never dream of owning a car were driving across towns, across states, across the nation. Detroit became the beating heart of America. Roads expanded. Gas stations popped up everywhere. America wasn't walking anymore. It was moving at speed. But progress never comes without a fight. Other companies watched Ford's rise with jealousy. Competition grew fierce. General Motors stepped into the ring. They wanted more style, more luxury, more power. The American car industry became a battleground. By the 1950s, cars weren't just machines anymore. They were culture. Teenagers raced down highways in shiny convertibles. Families packed their trunks and drove Route 66, chasing the American dream. The roar of a V8 engine became the sound of freedom. Muscle cars like the Ford Mustang and Chevy Camaro lit up the streets. Power, speed, and style. America was addicted, but every addiction has a price. And in the shadows, a storm was brewing. The 1970s struck hard with the oil crisis. Gas prices skyrocketed. Lines at gas stations stretched for miles. People waited for hours only to hear the dreaded words, "No fuel left." The muscle car era collapsed. Suddenly, big engines weren't a dream. They were a burden. Competition tightened. Japanese companies slipped into the U.S. market with smaller, fuel-efficient cars. Americans who once bragged about horsepower now counted miles per gallon. Detroit, once untouchable, was shaken to its core. Car factories struggled. Workers feared layoffs. The golden age had turned dark. But America wasn't ready to give up. Companies fought back. Ford and GM tried to shrink engines, build lighter cars, and answer the challenge. The industry was bleeding, but it was still alive. The battle for survival had begun, and the road ahead was filled with danger, doubt, and desperate moves. The 2000s opened a new battlefield. Gas prices rose again. Climate change alarms rang louder. People wanted cleaner, smarter cars, but Detroit hesitated. The old giants, Ford, GM, Chrysler, they built what they knew. Trucks, SUVs, gas-hungry machines. Then came a challenger no one expected, a company from Silicon Valley, not Detroit, a tech company, not a car company. Its name was Tesla. At first the world laughed. An electric sports car, impossible. No one believed it could compete with gasoline power. But Tesla didn't back down. It shocked the world with speed, silence, and style. Suddenly, electric cars weren't meek. They were thrilling. Detroit felt the tremors. GM scrambled to launch the Chevy Volt. Ford rushed to experiment with hybrids. But Tesla moved faster. Charging stations began to appear along U.S. highways, like secret outposts in a growing war. Each new Tesla model pushed the industry deeper into panic. The war wasn't just about cars. It was about survival. Governments demanded cleaner technology. Customers demanded lower costs. Factories had to retool. Thousands of jobs were at stake. America's car industry was being tested like never before. The story of cars in America isn't over. It's entering its most dangerous chapter, yet the future. Self-driving cars are already being tested on American roads. Silicon Valley engineers sit in labs building machines that don't need human hands. They promise fewer accidents, smoother traffic, and faster travel. But behind that promise lies fear. If cars no longer need drivers, what happens to millions of jobs? Truckers, taxi drivers, delivery workers, the backbone of American roads face an uncertain tomorrow. Electric power is spreading fast. Charging stations are rising across highways, from California to New York. Tesla leads the charge, but Ford and GM are fighting back with electric trucks and SUVs. The race is brutal. Whoever wins will control the future of transportation in America, but the battle is risky. Batteries are expensive. Infrastructure is incomplete. A single failure could crush a company overnight, and beyond electricity, new experiments are waiting. Hydrogen-powered cars, flying vehicles tested in hidden hangars, Hyperloop systems that could make highways look like relics of the past. Each innovation pushes America forward, but each carries danger. The future is not guaranteed. It's a gamble,